and the only angel that will see you will be the black angel. I pray that when you close your eyes at night, my son's face haunts you.
A grieving mother got to address for the first time the woman convicted in her son's death. Good evening. I'm Keith Cate.
I'm Melissa Marino. Thank you for joining us. Today, Cheryl Williams was sentenced to life in prison for the death of Polk County Deputy Blaine Lane. News Channel 8's Polk County Bureau reporter Stacy Da Silva joining us now live from Lakeland to show us what happened in court today. Hey, Stacy.
Melissa and Keith, it was an emotional hearing today for sure. You know, the first thing we learned about Deputy Lane when he died was that he dreamed of becoming a deputy his whole life. Well, today, his family members and colleagues brought that and so many other facets of him to life, telling the judge about the deputy, the man, the father he was, and the potential that was cut short.
Blaine was my best friend. The love I had for him was beyond measure.
Daryl Sauter says when he can't sleep at night, he looks at the road, imagining his grandson Blaine Lane pulling in. He knows he isn't coming back, and he says neither is his joy.
If I have to feel this way the rest of my life, I'm okay with it, because that's the way I'll honor him. I cry a lot.
Sauters and his family were in court for the sentencing of Cheryl Williams. In 2022, Williams resisted arrest, and Lane, a 21-year-old Polk County deputy, was killed by friendly fire. For that, a jury found Williams guilty of second-degree felony murder.
Why did this happen to us? Why couldn't you just come out peacefully? Just why?
The whole family knew Lane always wanted to be a deputy, always playing the cop in Cops and Robbers.
He would take me by Grady Judd's house and say, that's where Grady Judd lives. He dreamed of one day becoming the next Grady Judd.
Lane's chance at climbing the ranks was cut short, but it's clear he made an impact on his co-workers in his short time in uniform.
The citizens of Polk County lost a protector, a selfless young man that had aspirations to do great things, and I lost a friend.
The judge sentenced Williams to life in prison without the possibility of release. Lane's mother, Shelley, took the opportunity to address the convicted murderer directly.
Blaine was an amazing person, and you're a monster. Not only did your selfishness not only take my son away from me, but you took an amazing man away from this world.
Now, Williams did not address the court or the family today. She did, however, plead guilty to the drug charges that were the reason Deputy Blaine Lane was executing an arrest warrant that day in the first place. State Attorney Brian Haas tells us it was important to see that part of the case through since it cost Deputy Blaine Lane his life. Reporting live in Polk County, I'm Stacy Da Silva, 8 on your side.
Well, the woman looked like old junkie, old drug head. Look at the house that they was living in. So they didn't even have to tell me what she was charged with, because it probably would have been something like pedophilia, domestic violence, or something pertaining to drugs. She resisted arrest. I guess she was fighting the cops or what have you. And one of them was trying to shoot her or something and shot the other guy. That's mighty strange. Yep. She shouldn't have been resisting arrest. That's what they always tell us, right? And the judge gave her life in prison without the possibility of parole. I thought that was only reserved for us, but apparently, okay, justice is being served. This is what I like to see. Justice across the board. Fair. Nobody is above nobody. If you do a crime, they lock you up. I do a crime, they lock me up. All this preferential treatment, nah, that goes out the window. I think justice was served. What says you guys?
Cape Coral police have officially charged a 28-year-old man with murder, and they say the man stabbed his mother to death here in their home. I'm Cape Coral community correspondent Bella Line, and police say the investigation started with family members who couldn't get a hold of the woman.
That woman is Rosemary Johnson. She was a mother, and Cape Coral police say her son, Devin Johnson, killed her. Cape Coral Police Chief Anthony Sizemore says Rosemary was stabbed in her head and neck.
They went inside and observed bloody footprints and then later located their mother in the home, deceased.
She was in this home in Northwest Cape Coral. I spoke with Rosemary's daughter, who says she was the one who found her mom.
The crime scene is extensive, and it's still being worked at this moment.
Sizemore says Devin took off after the murder and was caught in Collier County after a fight with deputies, and the report says he tried to take a deputy's gun and choked a canine.
Our investigation also determined that Johnson had even went so far as to purchase a plane ticket to Costa Rica on that day, actively attempting to flee the country.
I spoke with Rosemary's daughter, and she sent me this statement saying in part, quote, "I will fight for the justice my mother deserves. May she rest in eternal peace." Chief Sizemore says he's not aware if Devin is cooperating at this time, but he is charged with second-degree murder.
Ultimately, what we want is justice for the victim and her family.
Chief Sizemore says detectives are still going through Johnson's phone, and at this time, it's unclear when Johnson will be brought back to Lee County. But Fox 4 will keep you up to date. Reporting in Cape Coral, Bella Line, Fox 4.
Family, let me just ask y'all a question. What could be so bad that you just take a knife, a blade, and slash up your mom like that? And apparently, they were living in a nice neighborhood, nice home and everything. So it couldn't have been they was poor and put upon. This guy unalived his mom in the worst way with a blade. So that's personal, right? Up and close on somebody. That's personal. And then he bought a ticket to Costa Rica. So he was planning on evading law enforcement, okay? And you notice that he was fighting with the police and they tried to take, and he tried to take their gun. And they did not unalive him. He choked one of their officers, a canine, a dog, and they still didn't take him out. Even in that, you could see some biasness, some slant things going on. Because if you do it and I do it, if I try to reach for an officer's gun and try to take his gun, or either I'm choking one of their dogs, oh God, they'll put so many bullet holes through me till it would be ridiculous, a crying shame. But yet, somehow, some way, he came out pretty beat up though. But he still came out alive, guys. What in the world is going on, guys? What could be so bad? And they always talking about black people doing stuff. Yes, black people do stuff, but you do it too. As a matter of fact, yours are worse than black folks, but it's hidden. You talk about it quickly and then move on. You understand? This is normalized, guys, but y'all just don't know it. That's why I'm bringing it to the forefront for everybody to see it. Because when people bring up these asinine arguments, oh, black on black crime, man, what is this? Is it not white on white? Am I missing something? Am I slow? And then it's per capita. The ID channel and the forensic files and all these murder shows, they saying something different. I wonder why.
The man who allegedly kidnapped and killed a mother and her 4-year-old daughter in Laranger is set to plead guilty in state court, and that's supposed to happen tomorrow morning.
Today, Parker Boyd talked to residents in the community about the potential plea to a chilling crime.
Why did you kill the 3-year-old girl?
I had no reason for what I did.
He admitted to killing a mother and daughter in Laranger over a year ago on live television. Now Daniel Callahan is preparing to plead guilty in a Tangipahoa Parish courtroom Friday morning.
I feel sorry for him because he's got to go before God.
Callahan is accused of killing 35-year-old Callie Brunette and her 4-year-old daughter, Erin, who he allegedly kidnapped along with her 6-year-old sister. 21st Judicial District Attorney Scott Paraloo says Callahan potentially faces a life sentence. But Laranger residents like James Estrade aren't satisfied.
He is getting off easy.
Prosecutors are taking the death penalty off the table in exchange for Callahan's guilty plea. Estrade thinks someone capable of such a crime shouldn't see the light of day.
I feel very sorry for the family of that lady and that little girl.
Fox 8 legal analyst Joe Raspani says a life sentence could give grieving families a greater sense of peace, as opposed to a death sentence.
For closure's sake, if there can ever be such a thing, that's what you get from a life sentence versus a death penalty. But there may not ever be any real closure for these people.
Callahan pleaded guilty to federal charges connected to the case back in August, kidnapping resulting in death and transporting a minor across state lines to engage in criminal sexual activity.
This is a guy that clearly cannot live in society. He needs to live in a cage for the rest of his life, and it looks like that's what's going to happen.
Some residents don't think there will ever be closure for the victims and their families.
That little child and that lady, they didn't get a chance to plead out.
If he pleads guilty Friday in Louisiana, he'll still face charges in Mississippi. Parker Boyd, Fox 8 Local First.
This was a random attack. Now, somebody can just randomly just go out and just grab somebody, grab a child, they unalive both of them. And this guy rap sheet is probably as long as the day. This is common, guys. Y'all might not want to believe. This is common. And they said that he was transporting minors across state lines for sexual purposes as well. See, but stuff like this don't get the news coverage. It's quick. And then it's quickly discarded. This don't go viral. These animals, these thugs, these criminals. This man need to be locked up for the rest of his life. Some people would even suggest that he need the death penalty. That's neither here or there. Whatever people feel, that's on them, all right? But this here is egregious to the umpteenth hour simply because it could have been anybody, guys. It could have been my wife or your mom or somebody, your auntie, your grandmother or somebody like that, your sister. God, man. Guys, be careful and make sure you always stay with your power tools as well, all right? Make sure to keep a power tool on. But guys, tell me exactly what y'all think about this video. Until next time, peace. And remember, there is more.